In the year 480 BCE, an empire unlike any the world had ever seen began to move. The Persian king, Xerxes the Great, commanded a force of hundreds of thousands, a tide of men and steel intent on swallowing the free city-states of Greece. His ambition was to bring the entire known world under his golden scepter. As news of this colossal army spread, panic swept through the Greek peninsula. City-states bickered, councils debated, and many considered surrender the only viable option. But in the martial city-state of Sparta, one man saw a different path. King Leonidas, a warrior forged in the crucible of Spartan training, stood before his council not with fear, but with unwavering resolve. He knew the odds were impossible, the chances of survival near zero. Yet, his purpose was clear. He declared to his people a truth that would echo through eternity. We fight for freedom, not for victory. With this solemn vow, Leonidas chose 300 of his finest warriors, each a father with a son to carry on his name. Their march from Sparta was not a parade of glorious conquest, but a somber procession. Wives and children watched, their faces etched with pride and sorrow, knowing this was a final farewell. Their destination was a place that would become legendary, Thermopylae, the Hot Gates. It was a narrow, unassuming pass, a natural bottleneck where the sheer cliffs of the Calidromo Mountains met the churning waters of the Malian Gulf. Here, a handful of men could hope to stand against a multitude. Arriving at the pass, the 300 Spartans were not entirely alone. A few thousand allies from other Greek city-states, inspired by Sparta's defiance, had answered the call. Together, they fortified the pass, building a low wall of stone, preparing this sliver of land to become the stage for history's greatest last stand. Soon, the horizon darkened. The grandeur of the Persian Empire arrived in all its terrifying splendor. A forest of masts from the vast Persian fleet choked the sea, while on land, the earth trembled under the weight of an army that stretched as far as the eye could see. War elephants trumpeted, the elite archers readied their bows, and at their heart marched the immortals, Xerxes' 10,000-strong personal guard, famed for never breaking rank. Xerxes himself, a figure who seemed more god than man, towering and adorned in gold, was confident of a swift victory. He sent a messenger to the hopelessly outnumbered Greeks with a simple demand. Lay down your weapons. Leonidas, standing before his men, shield in hand, gave a reply that has become the ultimate expression of defiance. He looked the messenger in the eye and uttered 2 words, Molon Lab. Come and take them. The line was drawn. The Spartans raised their shields, lowered their spears, and braced for the storm. The air grew thick with tension, then shattered with the roar of the Persian advance. The first wave crashed against the Spartan phalanx like water against rock. This was no chaotic brawl. It was a symphony of disciplined violence. Shields locked together, forming an unbreakable bronze wall. From behind this wall, 8-foot-long spears thrust out in perfect, deadly rhythm. Every Spartan was a master of his craft, his body and mind honed since childhood for this very purpose. The narrator explains, a Spartan's shield was his most sacred possession. He was taught to return with it, or on it. It protected not only himself, but the man standing next to him. This was the strength of the phalanx, unity. The Persians, brave and numerous, fell in waves. The narrow pass nullified their overwhelming numbers, funneling them into a meat grinder of Spartan steel. Leonidas's commands echoed over the din of battle, a calm and steady anchor in the chaos. Hold the line! Push! Slow motion shots capture the raw intensity, the glint of a spearhead, the spray of sweat and dust, the unwavering courage in a Spartan's eyes. The Persian king, watching from his throne, could only stare in disbelief as his best troops were systematically dismantled. For 2 days, the Greeks held, their heroic defense fueled by a love for the freedom their enemy could never comprehend. But what steel could not break, betrayal would. A local man named Ephialtes, his name now synonymous with treachery, sought reward from the Persian king. he revealed the existence of a hidden mountain path that bypassed the Spartan position. Under the cover of darkness, Xerxes dispatched his immortals to encircle the Greeks. A scout brought the devastating news to Leonidas. They were trapped. Knowing the end was near, he dismissed the majority of his Greek allies, urging them to retreat and carry the story of Thermopylae back to their cities. Only his 300 Spartans and a small contingent of Thespians and Thebans chose to stay. That night, in a quiet, emotional moment, Leonidas addressed his remaining warriors. There were no grand speeches, only the quiet understanding between brothers in arms. With a grim smile, he raised a cup and said, "Ready yourselves, Spartans, for tonight we dine in Hades." As dawn broke on the third day, the sky itself turned dark. A storm of Persian arrows, so numerous they blotted out the sun, rained down upon the defenders. The Spartans, their phalanx broken, fought on as individuals, with broken spears, with swords, with their bare hands. They fought with a ferocity born of desperation and honor, selling their lives as dearly as possible. At the heart of the fray, Leonidas fought like the lion of his name, until he was finally struck down. One by one, the last of the 300 fell, fighting to protect their king's body. As the final Spartan collapsed, his shield fell from his grasp, the sound echoing in the sudden, eerie silence. Though the 300 fell, their sacrifice was not in vain. The stand at Thermopylae was a strategic defeat, but a monumental moral victory. News of their incredible courage spread like wildfire across Greece, shaming the wavering city-states and inspiring them to unite against the common threat. The 3 days Leonidas bought them were priceless, allowing the Greek fleet to prepare for the decisive naval battle to come. We see a montage of the victories that followed, the Athenian fleet smashing the Persian navy at the Battle of Salamis, and the unified Greek army crushing the Persian land forces at Plataea, ending the invasion for good. The dream of a free Greece was preserved. The story ends with a final, sweeping shot over the pass at Thermopylae, now quiet and bathed in the golden light of the setting sun. Their bodies were gone, but their spirit remained, woven into the very fabric of the land. Their sacrifice had purchased something eternal, freedom, and their legend would remind all future generations of the price that must sometimes be paid to keep it. Thank you so much for watching this journey into one of history's most inspiring tales. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more stories of heroism and history brought to life, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Let us know in the comments what piece of history you'd like to see next. Until then, stay curious.